Hello, my wonderful friends. Magus with you. Today we're on the number 11 card, Justice. And this card is trusting that justice will prevail. It's a balancing of accounts. It's reaping what has been sown and then trusting that justice will prevail. You'll see she holds the sword of truth, and it's going to cut through the lie that others tell and also the lies that we tell ourselves. And her scales, my friends, this is going to see what really is, because it weighs the heart, the motive, the intention behind the action. And when you put yourself out as a spiritual teacher, a lot of people come to you and they're looking for a mediator, but most of the times they just want someone to side with them, and if you don't, they'll go find someone else who does. They're not necessarily looking for truth and justice, and the species will never evolve. You as an individual will never evolve if you can't look at the truth in your heart. Who are you really? What are your true intentions and motives? And to be able to face up to that. The zodiac sign for this is Libra. And good news, Libra is ruled by Venus. And Venus is loving and community. So it's a beneficent card. And so it's not out to get you. It's to make you better, to make the community better, to make us all as a whole, as one that can live together in peace and joy and harmony. But to do that, you have to be honest with yourself. And when I put myself out as a spiritual teacher, people come to me with their problems, and I can see when people are lying to themselves, and a lot of times they won't admit it till later. I've had people come to me, women come to me and say, I want to leave my husband and my kids because I want this guy, and they'll give me a list of reasons why, but in her heart she knows it's not right, but that's what she wants. He's got money, he's got a better lifestyle, and it's more exciting. And it always happens, my friends. A few years later down the line, they get back in touch with me. I was right, and their life is a mess. Their kids hate them. Their new love is gone. Their life is a mess. And they get real honest then and say, yeah, I knew. Because before they might be telling you, God wants me to do this, and they can make up any reason. You know, I've seen this in so many different situations. People, if they want to rip someone off, they will come up with a reason why. It doesn't matter if it really makes sense or not. They're going to hold on to it because that's what they want to do. And we have to be able to weigh our own hearts, to be brave enough to use the sword of truth and see what is my true intentions here. And then we need to look at other people's viewpoints too. Why are they acting this way? You know, is there some truth in what they're doing? Is it greed? And then you come to an understanding. You don't always need another mediator. And when it comes down to, in the very end, I found, is, are you loving the other person more than you love yourself? Are you wanting more for them than you even want for yourself? When the world comes to that kind of understanding, that you love your neighbor, you want the best for your neighbor. What can I do? It might inconvenience me a little bit, but I want to help you. It's like when you have kids and there's one piece of candy left. You want to give it to them, not just eat it up yourself because you love them. And we're going to need that kind of love to change this world. Another thing I came across today that I thought was really interesting in the tarot, it was a discussion of pip cards and pictured cards. And so we're going to be getting into the minor arcana soon. And the minor arcana, like with the Rider-Waite, has pictured cards. For instance, a lot of people know the Five of Pentacles, and it has the beggars walking in the snow and they're left out in the cold. But then with the pips of, say, the Marseille deck, you only have like 5 pentacles, no picture. And so you can't have a preconceived idea of what it's saying. And the number 5 in tarot is change. Okay, so with the Rider-Waite, it's showing a negative change, isn't it? They're out in the cold, they got raggedy clothes on, and they're, you know, they look like beggars. But there's many different kinds of change. There's good change, but when you pull that card, you're instantly going to go to that negative idea. And it really got me thinking about how important it is to not have images on the inside of us, but to be open to see with our eyes. And I think of the religions. It's so sad that people with their Jehovah's and their Allahs, they've been given stories and they put together a picture of God that hates, wars, kills, gets angry, gets jealous. And that's not at all a picture of who God is. As a matter of fact, God can do none of those things, but they put those stories together to try to teach moral lessons. And now people, when they think of God, those images come up into their minds. We need to clear our hearts and minds of all preconceived ideas and look from our heart, from the Spirit, that divine spark, that fervacity inside, and look out at the world. See your neighbor differently. See your family differently. See him with the eyes of Spirit, of truth. And let all those old stories and ideas go, those old images, and see with fresh eyes. And my friends, I think that's what's going to change the world, what's going to bring us to a higher evolution, to weigh our own hearts, to use the highest truth, to judge others and ourselves, and then love. That's what it really comes down to. I've said that so many times. I've written 13 books, and I could just write one, and you open it up, it's one page that says love, because that's what it really comes down to. You got to love first yourself. You got to love who God really is, not the false image that's been laid before you. And then love your family, love your friends, love the earth, love the animals. Be love, unconditional love. Doesn't matter what the rest of the world's doing. What are you holding? What are you vibrating? My friends, we really can do this. We really can change the world, but it's going to take all of us, and it's going to take us changing, sharing these messages. And I have hope. I would like to see it in my lifetime, but I've seen it at least for myself and my family. I live in Asha. You can live in Asha, and we can create heaven on earth. Guys, I love you. We'll see you tomorrow.